Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. My name is Shoaib. I'm the voice behind all the videos that you see on this YouTube channel as well as our official website PMCLounge.com. In this video, I am speaking to Marcus Klein, who comes with 20 years of project management experience. He is PMP certified. He is also PSM certified, which is Professional Scrum Master. He is currently working as a senior project manager, and in this video, he shares 5 steps that you need to take to clear the PMI-ACP certification. So let's get into the video.
All right, Marcus. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for sharing your time with us and helping the PMCLounge.com community with their questions. And so first question would be around ACP. And I do know that you have come up with these 5 stages of sorts that can help anyone do the ACP certification. So if you could elaborate more on those 5 stages, that will be very helpful.
Yeah, of course, no problem. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talking about that. Yeah, I have created that 5-step guides for ACP and some other certifications also because I have made the experience that if you start with the certification, usually you have a ton of information and knowledge ahead to work through, and most aspirants getting easily lost in that amount of information.
The overload of information. True.
The overload, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that has been the reason for me to come up with that 5-step guidance articles I have published on my website. And I have figured out that you can compromise all the steps you have to go in mainly 5 steps, obviously.
Right. Okay.
And these five steps I would recommend every aspirant, in that case ACP aspirant, to go through to be sure to not miss anything important. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, to go through that steps, we will start, of course, with step 1. So I would always recommend to become familiar with the certification you're aiming for. In that case, we're talking about ACP here. You should learn about the ACP certification. So what it is, what is the information available. PMI-ACP is offered by the PMI Project Management Institute, and of course, of their website, they offer a lot of information and documents. And for example, they do have an overview there. They do have also an FAQ there, and one of the main documents every aspirant should read through is the credential handbook.
Okay.
Handbook offered there. Yeah, and the exam content outline is also very important. Well, these two, the handbook and the content outline, are the essential documents everyone should read first.
Right. Okay.
Even before starting with any preparation. So,
super.
That's mainly the first step. And after that, in step 2, you can start with the preparation. So, and I guess more or less everyone aiming for the ACP certification is a project manager, or at least some kind related to project management. So the obvious point is make a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, like a project manager. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds banal, but you would wonder how many aspirants do not make a plan for their
very important.
So, yeah, get the information, get the input, and then sit down and make a plan.
Great. Yeah.
So, of course, in the 5-step guidance I have published, there is a bit more detailed information on how to do that and what you will need for.
Okay, and I will share the link to the 5 steps for ACP in the description of this video. So yeah, you guys can check that out. Yeah, let's go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem, no problem. So then, of course, for each certification and also for ACP, you need some study materials, obviously. Right. There are some foundation documents like the HR practice guide published by PMI, but also some other study materials with report the aspirants, and you should find out, depending on what type of learner you are, which material does fit best to your learning style.
Yeah, very important. Yeah,
and then get the related materials. That's also obviously. And then another very important point, specifically to the PMI certification, is like most of you would know already, is that you need the contact hours. In the case of the ACP certification, there are 21 contact hours needed, and you need to figure out in what way you can gain that contact hours.
So is there the usual, from PMP point of view, we have these training schools that provide these contact hours, right? So I'm assuming there will be training schools that provide contact hours for ACP also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, and of course, I would give some recommendation for opportunities to gain that contact hours, and of course, these recommendations are made because of my experience. So I have used them too, and I do know they are good. So, but there are, of course, a ton of options out there in the internet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, obtaining the 21 contact hours is step 3, and step 4 is already finalize your preparation. That sounds yet very quick now, but yeah, you should take your time to study. Of course, it's not as much as PMP, but also a lot of knowledge to gain for ACP certification.
Right.
And how to finalize your preparation? The best way I have experienced is practice. Practice. In my opinion, is always the key in such kind of endeavor. And of course, therefore, are also a lot of mock exams and sample questions available out on the internet. I do always recommend, and I got that questions a lot from many aspirants, is what I would recommend to use for practicing, and what I always recommend is using and utilizing really a professional online exam simulator.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it costs a bit. Of course, you have to invest in your career and in your future.
Absolutely.
But that is really the best you can do, because they provide a lot of tools and options to also to analyze your results. Yeah, you do sample exams, and then you have to analyze your results and figure out where your weak areas are and where you need to improve. So, and this is really best done by professional exam simulators.
Agree. So yeah, I think it's important to invest in yourself, like you mentioned, and as reading somewhere, the best investment one can make is in himself or herself. So yeah, I totally agree with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I see a lot. I'm very active online in various groups and forums and so on, and I see a lot questions raising up for asking for sample questions and mock exams and books and documents for free. So yeah, that it's an option, and there are some few good and serious sources and resources out there for free.
For free as
and
well.
I do provide that links also in my guides. But I can tell, be aware of material which is outdated, which is less quality, has less quality. Do yourself a favor and go for really good material.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to mention here is I do know of some organizations that provide these free tests, but these free tests are designed so that the aspirants fail them, and then they have their own professional paid courses that they would recommend you take. And
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm aware of such organizations as well. Yeah.
That would be an interesting another discussion from the ethical point of view.
Absolutely.
But okay, that's not our topic today.
Sure.
Yeah, but interesting. Well, so that was step 4, practicing using a professional online exam simulator, and then of course final step is go and take and pass the PMI exam. And there are also a lot to take care of and take in mind on how to do that properly, how figure out the processes with the exam centers. As you may know, also is that PMI changed the exam provider, the vendor, from Prometric to Pearson. And so there are also a lot of tips given by the guides. For example, drive to figure out where your exam center is. Drive to it and speak with the people there. Ask them. Ask them how the process is going, and do that before going for the exam. And after that, you are really more secure and more
and comfortable also.
Comfortable exactly to go for the exam. So that is all important. Sounding very obviously and very banal, but I'm wonder all the time how many people don't do that things.
Don't do that. Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's very basic, but a lot of people actually don't do this. And yeah, it results in hassles on the day of the exam itself. It's bad for your mood, and specifically when you're taking up such an important exam, that's something you definitely want to avoid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess those were the 5 steps.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. I will share the link in the description, like I mentioned. And thank you for your time, Marcus.
No problem. It was my pleasure.
All right, I hope you got value out of this video. Do you have a question for Marcus? Drop it in the comment and I'll try to get in touch with him again and create a video just like this one if required. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified whenever we upload new content. We are all about project management. We are all about PMP and other project management related certifications. Don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your #1 free PMP resource. Thank you and have a nice day.